Hello everyone. So in this video we are going to discuss question number 58 of GATE D26 exam, and this question was asked for 2 marks. Simple question based on the Python programming here. Okay. So here we have the function. We have defined one function fun which will take two parameters l and I equals to 0 here. If I is greater than equals to length of l minus 1, what we have to do? If this is true, then we have to return 0 here. If L of I greater than L of I minus I plus 1, in that case what we have to do? In that case you can see here L of I plus 1 comma L of I equals to L of I comma L of I plus 1. So what we are doing here? Can anyone tell me what we are doing here? Here we are swapping the element. Okay. So here we are swapping the elements of the list. Okay. So we have discussed this type of question in our test series, right? Now what is this? I have asked multiple questions like this based on this particular code here. This part was not there in the question, but this part was there in the most of the question, right? So you can see it is basically a sorting algorithm. Now tell me which type of sorting algorithm is this? So here you can see whenever the L of I is greater than L of I plus 1, means what we are doing here? We are comparing the element with the next element. If it is greater, then we have to swap that element here, right? And then we have to return 1 plus function L comma I plus 1 here. Now what we are doing? We are taking that particular list, but here the value of I is basically a what? The value of this particular parameter is basically a what? I plus 1. So we are going for next element now. Okay. Otherwise, if the element is not greater than the next element, what we have to do? We have to go for the else block here. We have to return function L comma I plus 1. Okay. So you can see this is basically a what? Bubble sort here. Okay. Now see, we have the function here. Here we have a data count equals to 0, and here we have the for loop here, right? Now see, in the for loop what is given to us? For underscore in range length of data. Now what is length function? Length of data. This will give me number of element in the list. Number of element in the list. So if you observe, this is my data. How many elements are there? 5. So length of data is equals to 5 now. Now for underscore in range 5. I hope everyone is aware about the range function. This will give me a number from 0 to n minus 1. So range of n. Range of n will give me the numbers from 0 to n minus 1. So here n is basically 5. So this will give me a number from 0 to 4 here like this. For underscore. Now why we are using this underscore? You must have observed in multiple for loop we use I, we use any other parameter, we use any other variable, and that we use inside the for loop. But see, whenever we want to run the for loop for particular time here, and we don't need to use that particular variable or parameters what we have specified here, in that case we can go with the underscore sign. It means what? I just want to run this particular for loop for this much number of time, that's it. Okay. So range 5, it will run the for loop for 5 times starting from 0 to 4 here. Okay. So it will run the for loop 5 times here. Now count plus equals to fun of data. So what is this? Plus equals to, it means what? Count equals to count plus fun of data here. Like this. Okay. And then at the last we are going to print the count here. Now see what we are doing here. In the first part we are applying the sorting algorithm here. But what is this count? What we are counting here? Okay. So you can see this data is given to us. We are going to call the function here. So for underscore in range, so here 5 count plus. So here we have first iteration here. Okay, first for loop. Count plus equals to fun of data. So data is basically this one. Now we have to call this particular function. My list is basically a data now I equals to 0. If I is less than equals to length of L minus 1. What is length here? 5. Right? 5 minus 1. So if I greater than equals to 5 minus 1, that is basically a 4, we have to return 0. But that's not true. I is equals to 0 basically. Now see here, if. So let me create a data here. So we have a data list that is basically a L. If we call the function, we have 5, 3, 4, 1, 2 like this. Okay. Now see, L of I is basically a 0. So indexing start with 0. We all know this, right? So that is basically a 5. Is 5 greater than 0 plus 1? That is basically a 3 here. So is 5 greater than 3? Yes, this is true. If this is true, what we are doing? We are swapping the element. We are swapping the element like this, right? Now, once we swap the element, see what is going to happen. 3, 5, 4, 1, 2 like this. So at this point, we have swapped the element and this is basically my resultant list. Now what we are doing here? We are going to return 1 plus fun of L, I plus 1. So output of this will be a what? 1 plus, again we are going to call this particular function here. That is basically a what? Recursion. Okay. So here sorting algorithm using recursion here. So we are calling the function inside the same function here. That is basically a recursion here. Okay. So 1 plus, again we are going to call this particular list, but this time the value of I will be a what? 1 here. This means you can see this is again not true. Again, if L of I is basically a 1. So this element at first position is greater than the next element. Yes. Again, we have to compare this. Is this true? Yes. Again, we have to swap that. So 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Return 1 plus. Now see, from the previous iteration, we got output 1 plus. And now if I go for one more iteration, I got 1 plus fun of L, I plus 1. Now here the value of I from the previous iteration was 1. Now here L, 2 like this. Again we are going for the next iteration here. It is basically a recursion, we can say. Let me remove this. Okay. So here the value of I is basically 2. Now the value of here is this one. Again we are going to check the condition, not satisfied. What about this? L of 2. 2 is basically now 5 here. So whether 5 is greater than the next element? Yes. Again we have to swap the element here. L equals to 3, 4, 1, 5, 2. And then we are going to return 1 plus again function here. So output of this is basically a what? 1 plus function L, 3 now. Right? So see, this is what is happening here. In the case of recursion, see, let me remove this thing. So first one we got from the first iteration, next one from the second iteration, now this one from the third iteration. Okay. So up till now the output is 3 plus fun of L, 3. I hope this thing is clear. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus the output of this particular function. Again we are going to call this particular function again the same list, but this time the number is basically a 3. L of 3 is basically 5. Again we are comparing here. Again we are swapping the element. Again we are returning 1 plus something. So 3 plus 1 plus function of L, 4. Because the output of this is basically a what? 1 plus function of L, 4 now. Right? So after swapping, this will be like this: 3, 4, 1, 2, 5. Now go for next iteration here. Now in this case the value of I is basically a 4. If 4 is greater than equals to length of L minus 1, that is basically a 4. Yes, if this is true, we are going to return 0. So now the output of this is basically a what? 0. That's it. We are going to stop the recursion here, and what we got? 4. Operation of for loop here, count equals to count plus fun data. The output of fun data is basically a what? 4 now, starting from 0. So at this particular point, the output of count is basically a 4 now. Now we'll go for a next iteration of for loop here for underscore in range. So next iteration here. Okay. So again we are going to call this particular function here, but this time we are going to take this updated list now. Now see what we are doing. We are applying a bubble sort algorithm here. We are checking in a particular pass how many times we are swapping the element. I hope you are getting what I am saying. So here you can see for loop in a particular pass. So every for loop is basically one pass. So what I am saying, every for loop iteration here is basically a what? One pass. Okay. So every for loop iteration is basically a one pass, and in every pass, the value of count is getting what? What is the output of this particular thing here? In every pass, how many times we are swapping? How many times we are swapping the element? Okay. If you observe in the first pass, we have swapped the element 4 times. That's why the count is basically a 4. Now if I go for a second pass here, okay, let's see the output now. If I go for a second pass, now what will happen if I go for a second pass here? Again, same function, but the list will get changed. The value of I is basically 0. Now in the first iteration, we have taken the given data, and in the second pass, we have to take this particular data here. That's it. Rest process is basically the same. Again, we have to take the element at the first position, that is 0 position here. Not true. What about this one? Whether L of I, that is basically 0. So that is 3. Whether 3 is greater than the next element here, 4. No. If this is not true, we are going for else block. What is we are going to return? Function L comma I plus 1. So same list, but now we are taking the next element here like this, because this condition didn't get satisfied here. Now see, in the next iteration what we are doing, again the value of I is basically a 1 now. Now see here, L of 1. So first element 4 is greater than the next element 1. Yes. So we have to swap that element. So 3, 1, 4, 2, 5. We have swapped the element. We have written 1 plus function of L comma 2 now. So 1 plus function of L comma 2 now. Again call the same function. This will be a list. Second element is basically a 4. Whether 4 is greater than 2. Yes, satisfied. Again swap. Again 1 plus function of L comma 3. So this will be like this. Okay. So 3, 1, 2, 4, 5. Right. Now again going to call the same function here, but this time the element is basically a 4. Right. Now see what is happening here now. At this particular point when we are dealing with I equals to 3, so L of I greater than L of I plus 1? No, that is basically a false. Now this is false. We have to go for else block, return function of L comma what? 5 here. Now L comma 4 here. If I go for this iteration, now next iteration, this will get satisfied. We have to return 0, and the output will be a what? 1 plus 1. So from the first iteration, 1 plus 1, that is 2 here. Okay, because here we have performed 2 swapping. So now in the count, so this will be a what? Count plus fun of data, right? But from the previous iteration, the value of count is basically a 4 plus 2, that is basically 6 now. Now we'll go for a next pass here. So this is what we are doing. For every for loop item, we are performing one pass, and in that particular pass, how many times we are swapping the element, that is what we are counting. And then we are performing the addition here. That's it. Okay. So again, if I go for a next pass here, what I got? 3, 1, 2, 4, 5. So let me take a new slide. Here I got 3, 1, 2, 4, 5. The value of count is basically what we got 6 now. Okay. Again, we have to call this particular function here. L is basically this now, I0. Okay. Again, this is not satisfied. Check for this. I0 greater than I plus 1. Yes, 3 is greater than I plus 1. That is basically a 1. So we have to swap the element. So this will be 1, 3, 2, 4, 5. Okay. Then we have to return 1 plus. Again, we have to call this particular function. 1 plus. Again, going to call the function here. But this time the value of I is basically a 1. So again, now element 3 going to compare with the next element 2. Again, it is greater. Again, we have to swap. L equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here like this. Okay. That is 1 plus. Now after swapping, here we have 1 plus again function of L comma 3. Okay. Now go for next iteration. I is basically 3. Not satisfied. Here L of 3 greater than L of 4. No. Not true. So go for else block here. Again go for a next iteration. Again the value of I becomes 4. So this becomes 2, we have to return 0 here. Okay, so you can see the output of this will be a 0. So 1 plus 1 plus 0 is basically a 2. Now, what about the for loop? From the previous iteration, we got count equals to 6. So 6 plus 2 is basically 8 now. Okay, again we have to go for a for loop because we have to run this particular for loop how many times? 5 times here. Okay, so we have to run this particular for loop 5 times. Now you can see, now the list got sorted here. Okay, so the list got sorted. Now if I go for a next iteration here, doesn't matter, this condition is never going to get satisfied because you can see it is already in the sorted position. Okay, so this will never get satisfied. It means we are not going to swap. It means we are not going to return this one. It means we are not going to count any number of swapping here. We will simply go to else block. We'll increment the value of I. Again, we are going to call the function here. So we'll go for this. Again, this will get satisfied. We are going to return 0. Again, go for next iteration. So like this. Okay. So once the list got sorted, for loop will perform 5 number of times, but the value of count will not get increased because this will be a 0 plus 0, that is basically 8 here. Okay. So the correct answer for this particular question is 8. The value of count is basically 8. So for the given data here, we require 8 swap to sort this particular list. Okay. This is what the function is counting here. This is what function is giving us how many total number of swaps are required to sort this particular array. That's it. Okay. I hope you understand what we have discussed in this particular question, right? So that's why we have added this type of question in our test series. From the code, we can directly find out, okay, this particular thing means what? We are simply swapping the element based on this particular condition here. Okay. So see, every question what we are going to frame in the test series will check your what concept. Some questions are there for revision purpose, right? Some questions are there to check your in-depth knowledge, right? So see, when we added this type of question, this type of code multiple times, it means what? We want you to revise the concept here. Okay. Here I took more than 5 minutes to solve this particular question. But in the GATE exam, if you are familiar with this particular logic here, what we are doing, you can easily understand this one and you can easily solve this question in less than 2 minutes. Okay. So that's why practice is very, very important. Nothing in this particular question. We already know that this function will perform the sorting operation. This will perform the swapping operation. This will count the number of swap here. That's it. And this for loop will perform the number of passes. Then if you understand this particular code, you don't need to do all these things. Okay. But just to explain how this particular code is working, I have performed this particular calculations here. I have performed this particular steps here. Okay. So that's it from my side. I hope you understand this particular video solution. Thank you.